Revelations chapter 1 vs 10. I, the newsbearer John, son of Zebedee and Salome, became a spiritual being in the only day which are the last days before the end, which will occur in 3 parts. The day of resurrection or standing, when the Messiah Jesus will resurrect and the book of life will be opened to bear witness to your good and bad deeds. The day of decision, when every person will be called for their deeds, and the final day when man will be held accountable for how he dealt with rulership of the creatures and how he used the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding that the Most High bestowed upon him by way of the Master Teacher. And I, John, son Zebedee and Salome, heard the supreme voice of the Elohim Malachi Zodok behind me like a trumpet. Revelations chapter 1 vs 1:1. Saying, that which you, the newsbearer John son of Zebedee and Salome, see, and write it in a scroll, the 22 books of Revelation, and send it to the 7 congregations which are in Asia. It's for all the congregations which are in Asia. It's for all the congregations, Ephesus and Smyrna and Pergamos and Thyatira and Sardis and Philadelphia and Laodicea. John describes the Messiah Jesus and the messenger Malachi Zodok, Nubians gowned in the traditional white garment. The power which the Messiah Jesus possessed as the Anointed One is made clear. Revelations chapter 1 vs 1-2. So I, the newsbearer John, son of Zebedee and Salome, turned around to see whose voice was sermonizing for me, and when I turned, I saw 7 candlesticks of gold, called the menorah, a prominent feature of the Ark of the Tabernacle. The candles themselves symbolized and represents the 7 congregations of which the newsbearer John was told to warn. Revelations chapter 1 vs 13. And in the middle of the 7 golden candlesticks was one who resembled the Messiah Jesus, the adopted son of Mary, daughter of Joachim and Hannah, a male living being, not the Messiah Jesus but the Elohim Malachi Zodok, who was clothed in a long outer garment, down to his feet, and he had a sash like belt of gold. Revelations chapter 1 vs 1-4. And the hair of the Messiah Jesus' head was white just like wool, symbolizing his kingly crown, and it was like the color of snow. He had gray hair, proving that he lived to be a very old man. Though Christians would like for the world to believe that he died on the cross at the age of 33, and his eyes were as inflamed like fire, meaning the whites of his eyes were reddish, an African trait. Revelations chapter 1 vs 15. And the Messiah Jesus' feet looked like pure brass, as if they had been burnt black in a furnace. The color of brass is sardis, dark brown yet reddish, and his voice was like the sound of many waters running. The Messiah Jesus had a raspy, coarse voice. Its force and magnitude sounds like the crash of water on the shores. Revelations chapter 1 vs 1-6. And in Malachi Zodok's, Melchizedek's, right hand were 7 stars, the 7 holy arch-messengers. Seraphim, 1. Gabriel, 2. Uriel, 3. Uziel, 4. Raphael, 5. Israel, 6. Zamarel, 7. Malachi Zodok, and a sharp sword that possessed double edges came forth from his mouth. For Malachi Zodok, Melchizedek, leader of the deities, supreme deity, will have a tongue of truth to cut up lies. The 2-edged sword symbolizes the knowledge of Ashuric, Syriac, Arabic, and to translate it into English for you, which will enable him to decipher the scriptures so that he will be able to explain to them the uneducated people. This knowledge is necessary in order for him to be able to break down and destroy the false doctrines of the various schisms and sects, false messiahs and prophets that will try to lead innocent people astray. It is the Anunnaki Malachi Zodok who guides Mapen. There is no question that can be asked that can't be answered. And Malachi Zodok, Melchizedek's, face will radiate, shine, like the sun in all its power with the light of glory. Revelations chapter 1 vs 17. So when I, the newsbearer John, son of Zebedee and Salome, saw him, the Anunnaki Malachi Zodok, I fell at his feet in submission and amazement. He was utterly astonished. The force of the Anunnaki Malachi Zodok's presence made John, son of Zebedee and Salome, feel as if he should be honored. John was afraid just as Daniel, son of Jara and Gebar, was afraid when he encountered Melchizedek, and I became as if I were dead. I fainted, proving to the Christians that John was awake, not dreaming, when he saw the events of the book of Revelation. It is scientifically impossible for a person to faint while they are sleeping. And he touched me to wake me after I had fainted with his right hand, saying, Revelations chapter 1 vs 1:8. I, Melchizedek, have always existed, and have the keys of death, the bottomless pit and the flaming fire. Revelations chapter 1 vs 19. So write what you, the newsbearer John, see in your time, and that which is present in your visions that are unfolding before you, and that which is necessary to come about after this, the future events. Revelations chapter 1 vs 2:0. The secret of the seven stars. John, son of Zebedee, saw in Malachi Zoduk's right hand and the seven golden candlesticks. The seven stars are the Anunnaki Melchizedek, who is Mika, El, Marduk, or Malachi Zodok, Gabri, El, Uri, El, Uzi, Al, Rapha, El, Isra, El, and Zamar, El. Representing the seven congregations, and the seven candlesticks which you saw are the seven congregations.